And it's not just the media that China wants to censor. It is targeting embassies too, based in Beijing. It is targeting governments that call for an inquiry. China is targeting any organization that dares to challenge its narrative, even those who consider China a friend. I'm talking about the European Union, EU, a union of 27 European countries, a body that is said to represent 447 million Europeans. Of late, this body has been representing and mirroring Chinese propaganda. First, the European Union watered down a coronavirus report critical of the Chinese regime. Second, some of its member nations hailed China as a brother for its donation diplomacy. And now the body is dealing with China on China's terms. The European Union recently released an opinion piece on the coronavirus. It was co-authored and co-signed by all European Union ambassadors to Beijing. It was meant to celebrate the EU's 45th anniversary of diplomatic relations with China. The European Union called it a friendship letter. Guess what China did? Censored it. Let me quote from the original letter first. The outbreak of the coronavirus in China. Just so you don't miss it, let me repeat. The outbreak of the coronavirus in China and its subsequent spread to the rest of the world over the past 3 months has meant that our pre-existing plans have been temporarily sidetracked. It's a paragraph which pointed to China as the origin of the pandemic, because it is, whether China likes it or not. The virus came from Wuhan. But the European Union's so-called friend does not agree. So here's what Beijing did. China Daily, a state-run newspaper, published this letter on Wednesday. A copy is on your screen. As you can see, the part of the letter which I just mentioned has been removed. China has censored the so-called friendship letter. So much for celebrating friendship. And apparently the European Union did not protest. As per reports, it was the EU which allowed China to publish this censored version. According to their spokeswoman, and I'm quoting again, EU diplomats decided to proceed with the publication with considerable reluctance. Considerable reluctance. The European Union is reluctant to discuss Chinese censorship. What is China reluctant to talk about? Taiwan and its role in containing the coronavirus. It's been 3 months since Taiwan reported its first case of the coronavirus. Do you know how many cases this island state has? As of today, 439 cases. Deaths, only 6. Taiwan deserves due credit. Credit in the form of acknowledgement of its independent existence, an acknowledgement of its sovereignty. The United States has shown the way. The US is rallying support to back Taiwan's observer status at the World Health Assembly, the WHA. The WHA is a decision-making body of the World Health Organization. It plans to hold an annual meeting on the 17th of May. Now, the US State Department has initiated an online campaign for Taiwan's inclusion at this meeting. It wants Taiwan to be permitted to share its expertise on the pandemic. America says it's time for Taiwan to be heard. It certainly is. The world must listen to Taiwan and look at its template. And the world must listen to Hong Kong too, another region which China considers an inalienable part. Pro-democracy protests have restarted in Hong Kong. The US was expected to put out a report on Hong Kong's autonomy, but that report has been put on hold. Why? Because the US State Department is waiting to see if the situation in Hong Kong will be addressed in China's annual legislative session. That's on the 22nd of this month. America first wants to see what actions Beijing takes at this session to further undermine the independence of Hong Kong and then take a decision. European Union, Taiwan, Hong Kong. These are some contrasting stories about the different ways the dragon is trying to exert its influence. Some are fighting back in the name of freedom. Some are bowing down in the name of friendship.